Hollywood's greatest fear has just been brought to life on your television screen. The company that pulled the trigger? Netflix. The technology that just last year, in 2023, sparked the largest industry-wide shutdown in over 60 years, with writers and actors forming picket lines to fight for their very livelihoods, is no longer a distant, hypothetical threat. It is here. It is being used. And it is being celebrated from the highest levels of the world's biggest streaming giant. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a monumental shift in entertainment, a moment that may be remembered as the instant the floodgates were opened. This is the story of how Netflix quietly crossed a line that many in the creative community believed was sacred, deploying a digital ghost in the machine that they had fought so hard to contain. In this deep dive, we will reveal the exact on-screen moment that was crafted by generative artificial intelligence. We will explore how this strategic move can be seen as a direct challenge to the unions who fought tooth and nail to protect human jobs. And we will uncover Netflix's broader and perhaps more alarming roadmap for an AI-powered future. A future that is set to change not just how our favorite films and series are made, but the very way we discover and interact with them. So, is this the dawn of a new golden age of creativity, as Netflix claims? Or is it the beginning of the end for the human artist in Hollywood? Imagine this for a moment. You're completely absorbed in a brand new, high-stakes science fiction thriller. The setting is a near-future Buenos Aires, a city gripped by an unnerving, otherworldly chaos. The heroes are in a desperate race against time, and in a pivotal, heart-stopping moment, a massive, iconic city building begins to groan and twist under an unseen force. Concrete pulverizes, steel girders bend like straws, and a cascade of glass shatters, raining down onto the panicked streets below. The entire structure then implodes in a cataclysmic cloud of dust and debris that swallows the city block. It is a breathtaking, blockbuster-level visual effect. The kind of scene that traditionally costs millions upon millions of dollars and requires months, if not years, of painstaking work from a small army of highly skilled visual effects artists. These artists, the unsung heroes of modern cinema, would typically spend weeks modeling the digital architecture, days texturing every surface with photorealistic detail, and more weeks setting up complex physics simulations to govern how every single piece of debris falls and interacts with the environment. They would meticulously craft every single particle of dust, every individual shard of glass, every flicker of light reflecting off the falling wreckage, all to be composited together layer by painstaking layer. Now, what if I told you that this entire sequence, a scene that is now officially part of the Netflix streaming library, was not primarily crafted by human hands? What if I told you it was generated by an artificial intelligence, and that it was completed, according to Netflix, 10 times faster than a team of human artists could have possibly achieved, at a cost so low it made the impossible possible? This is not a hypothetical scenario from the show's plot. This is the stark reality of how a key scene in the upcoming Argentine series Eternauta, or the Eternauta, was created. The series itself is based on a legendary Argentine comic book, a national treasure about an alien invasion, so getting the scale of destruction right was artistically paramount. Netflix's co-chief executive officer, Ted Sarandos, didn't bury this fact in a fine-print press release. He hailed it as a triumph during an investor call, a forum designed to showcase strength and forward-thinking strategy. He proudly proclaimed that this sequence is the very first piece of generative AI final footage to appear on screen in any Netflix original production. He framed it not as a cost-cutting measure, but as a creative breakthrough, an empowering tool. In his words, AI is, quote, an incredible opportunity to help creators make films and series better, not just cheaper. He argued that without AI, this dramatic, building collapsing scene would have been completely beyond the project's budget, meaning it simply wouldn't have existed. The creative team, he explained, partnered with an internal Netflix innovation group called Eyeline Studios to bring this ambitious vision to life with AI's assistance. Sarandos presented it as a win-win. The creators get their vision, and Netflix gets a stunning visual without breaking the bank. But this triumphant announcement lands in a Hollywood still nursing the deep wounds and lingering anxieties from the brutal labor disputes of 2023. To truly understand the gravity of this moment, we have to rewind the clock just a little. For 148 days, the Writers Guild of America was on strike. For 118 days, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, or SAG-AFTRA, joined them on the picket lines. It was a historic, painful, and deeply passionate battle for the soul of the industry. The air in Los Angeles was thick with a mixture of solidarity and fear, as creatives from every corner of the business put their careers on hold to fight for their future. And at the very heart of this conflict was one terrifying, two-letter word: AI. Writers marched with signs expressing their fear that studios would use large language models to generate scripts, reducing human writers to mere polishers of machine-generated content, paid a fraction of their normal rates. Actors fought passionately for protections against their digital likenesses being used without their consent or fair compensation, battling the nightmarish prospect of creating digital clones that could act forever without ever getting paid, tired, or old. And the visual effects artists, while not part of those specific unions, watched with bated breath, knowing their field was perhaps the most vulnerable of all to AI automation. They fought for guardrails, for regulations, for a guarantee that this powerful new technology would be a tool in the hands of the artist, not a replacement for the artists themselves. And now, less than a year after those hard-won contracts were signed, a period of supposed peace and rebuilding, Netflix is on a call with its investors, boasting about using that very same technology to create final footage 10 times faster and for a cost that would have previously been, in Sarandos's own words, unfeasible. The implication is chillingly clear. The collective work of a team of human VFX artists was deemed too expensive, too slow, and AI did it instead. This is a hugely divisive issue that pits artistic integrity and human labor against corporate efficiency and technological advancement. What side of the debate do you fall on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're finding this deep dive into the future of entertainment enlightening, do us a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps us understand what topics you want to see more of. This move by Netflix forces us to confront the central debate head-on. Is AI a benevolent tool or a corporate Trojan horse? The argument from Sarandos and other tech proponents is that AI is a democratizing force. It can lower the barrier to entry for filmmakers in smaller markets, allowing an Argentine production to create visuals that rival a Hollywood mega-production. It can handle the grunt work, the tedious and repetitive tasks, freeing up human artists to focus on higher-level creative decisions. In this utopian view, AI doesn't replace the artist, it gives the artist a super-powered paintbrush. But the view from the picket lines is far more skeptical. For them, the language of democratization and efficiency is often a smokescreen for the devaluation of skilled labor. They see a slippery slope. Today, it's a single background VFX shot. Tomorrow, it's animating a background character. The day after, it's generating entire digital sets, or perhaps even editing scenes together based on biometric feedback from test audiences. The fear is a race to the bottom, where studios continuously seek cheaper and faster AI solutions, eroding the job market for thousands of highly skilled professionals who have dedicated their lives to their craft. It raises a philosophical question as well. Does art generated by an algorithm possess the same soul? Can a machine, trained on millions of existing images, truly create something new, or can it only remix what has come before? Is there a difference between art born from human experience, intention, and emotion, and a product assembled by code? The story doesn't end with visual effects, however. That building collapse in Eternauta is just the tip of the iceberg, the first public demonstration of a much wider strategy. Netflix's other co-CEO, Greg Peters, made it abundantly clear that the company's AI ambitions go far beyond what happens behind the camera. They are aiming to fundamentally change your experience in front of the screen as well. Peters spoke about leveraging generative AI to revolutionize the most frustrating part of the Netflix experience for many, finding something to watch. We've all been there. mindlessly scrolling through endless rows of tiles, reading vague descriptions, watching auto-playing trailers, and ultimately succumbing to decision fatigue. The current search function is clumsy. You have to know a title, an actor, or a very generic genre, but what if you could just talk to Netflix like you were talking to a film-savvy friend? Peters painted a picture of a future where you could simply say, and I quote, "I want to watch a film from the 80s that's a dark psychological thriller." Instead of a random assortment of titles, the AI would understand the nuance, the decade, the mood, the subgenre, and provide you with a curated list of perfect results. He said this was something you, quote, "just couldn't have done in our previous experiences." This is, admittedly, super exciting from a user's perspective. It promises a more intuitive, personalized, and less frustrating way to navigate a library of content that has become overwhelmingly vast. But the AI integration doesn't stop at user convenience. The next frontier, according to Peters, is advertising. For the millions of users on Netflix's ad-supported tiers, this is particularly significant. Peters sees generative AI as a tool to help brands and marketers create compelling ad content more easily and cheaply. He noted that creating high-quality advertisements is a significant hurdle for many companies. Generative AI, he believes, can, quote, "decrease that hurdle iteratively over time." What does that mean in plain English? It means using AI to generate ad concepts, scripts, visuals, and maybe even entire video commercials, making it faster and more affordable for businesses to advertise on Netflix. This would, in turn, enable Netflix to fill more and more of its ad slots, boosting its revenue. While this sounds great for Netflix's bottom line, it also raises the same specter that haunts the film production side: job replacement. Creative directors, copywriters, graphic designers, and video editors at advertising agencies could see their roles diminished or automated by these ever-improving AI tools. So what we are seeing is a multi-pronged strategy. Netflix is implementing AI at the point of creation to make content production faster and cheaper. It is implementing AI at the point of discovery to make the user experience stickier and more personalized. And it is implementing AI at the point of monetization to make advertising more seamless and profitable. It's a full-stack AI integration. This brings us back to Ted Sarandos's carefully chosen words. AI will help creators make things better, not just cheaper. Is that a genuine creative mission statement? Or is it sophisticated corporate messaging designed to soften the blow of inevitable automation? For a company that is famously data-driven, a company that has canceled beloved shows for not meeting specific performance metrics, the allure of 10 times faster and unfeasibly cheaper is undeniably powerful. Where does the line get drawn? Today, it's a single visual effects sequence, but with the technology advancing exponentially, what about tomorrow? Could AI be used to generate multiple versions of a scene for A/B testing with audiences to find the most engaging cut? Could it be used to de-age actors for entire films, or even create synthetic actors from scratch owned by the studio who never age, ask for raises, or have scandals? Could it analyze viewer data to write scripts algorithmically engineered for maximum engagement, creating a feedback loop that prioritizes predictable formulas over risky, innovative art? These are the questions that keep creators up at night. The promise of AI as a tool is seductive, but the fine line between a tool that assists and a tool that replaces is becoming blurrier by the day. Netflix, with this announcement, has shown it is more than willing to step right up to that line and perhaps leap right over it. The AI genie is officially out of the bottle, and Netflix is holding the lamp. The question is no longer if artificial intelligence will reshape Hollywood, but who will be writing the script for this new, uncertain era: the human creators or the corporate code? The answer to that question will define the stories we watch, the art we consume, and the very nature of human creativity for decades to come. To ensure you don't miss our next investigation into the powerful forces changing our world, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have your notifications turned on. You won't want to miss what's coming next.